We always called each other good fellas. Like you'd say to somebody, you're gonna like this guy, he's all right. He's a good fella, he's one of us. You understand? We were good fellas, wise guys.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
If you can have any comments on it or not. Names that are coming up recently. Jimmy Calandra's coming up. I think you and him did something together. Alite's coming up. Johnny Russo, we've had him on as well. What do you think about some of these guys and what they're doing on social? I asked Michael the same question.
I know Jimmy Calandra. He's a friend of mine. And I did have him in my place. He came down. He was going to get a hotel room. I said, listen, bro, I'm living alone. You want to just come and live with me? I just got my dog with me. Yeah. So we lived together for about 4 or 5 days. And he came on my show, and I did a show with him. We had some laughs, like we're doing now, talking.
Yeah.
And then one or two people, I don't want to name names, but one or two people exploded because he was arguing with one of those names or a couple of those names you're talking about. And they were saying that I encouraged him to do that, which I didn't. I didn't encourage him. I encouraged him when I talked with him. I said, there's a lot of assholes out there. Put it on the side. Don't get into it. They want to do this. They want you so they can get hits and they could get subscribers and they could get views. So they try to get into an argument with you. Once you're going back and forth, you're feeding right into what they want. Just to put them on the bird. But Jimmy has a little bit of a temper, and he didn't. He exchanged back and forth with them a couple of times, and they blame me for that, which it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. And so I don't bother with some of those names you just mentioned. I don't even bother with them. I did.
Now, getting into the Gene Gotti incident, Johnny Alite says I slapped Gene Gotti. I have to put on record, and I have to confirm this, because I never, ever slapped Gene Gotti in my life. Okay? I wouldn't do that. I'm not the type of guy to raise my hands to older men if they're disrespectful towards me. Now, if you push me, absolutely, 100%, but I did not slap Gene Gotti. We went face to face, chest to chest. We had some words. He said, I'll kill you and all your friends. And I told him, you're not killing nobody. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay? That button shit don't mean nothing in here. We're in jail. And I'm definitely not fucking afraid of you. That's what I told him. Okay? I don't want to repeat myself, but I have to confirm this, that I was not there when anyone slapped Gene Gotti.
Well,
Gene Gotti did.
Me, Patty Delarusso, and Mike Spinelli stepped to Jimmy in his cell. And we told him, listen, punk, if you don't act like a man, you better check in, or we're going to give you a beat and a half in here. He was crying hysterical. Not crying. Crying hysterical, a young kid does that throws a tantrum. Ran out of the cell, went at Jeannie on the top tier, was slapping at him, swinging at him, and Jeannie was going, pushing him back, going, kid, relax. What's going on? Kid, just relax. He couldn't even make sense of him because he was crying so hard. Then
I never, ever slapped Gene Gotti in my life. Show, okay? Johnny Alite's in the show, and his comments are basically, he's talking about that back in the day, he made all kinds of money in the heroin business with Angelo Ruggiero and all these other guys in the Gambino family. And that John Gotti was taking all these envelopes. Now, you know what? Maybe he was making all this money in the heroin business. I don't know. But me personally, I don't think so. You know, this is a guy that wants to be in everything and be with everyone. You know, look at his book, Gotti's Rules. Did he mention anything about the heroin business, about what he was talking about in this drug wars and the mob? Because that's what you have to go by. You can't make up stories as you go along. Your story is your story, and you can't track backtrack and talk about things that you didn't talk about before. So as people go along, wait, let's make up another story and say we did this. Let's make up another story and say we did that. Now, that's all a bunch of bullshit. Now, hopefully the people out there can see all the lies in these guys who flip. And then after they flip, they want to make believe that they're more than what they are. For example, I'm going to change to another subject, Larry Mazza.
Get to the unit, I find out that Jimmy Calandra is getting up every morning and he's putting Gene Gotti's chair out for him so he can watch TV. Then when Genie's finished watching TV, he puts his chair out in the day room early in the morning so he can have coffee. And then when he gets up in the morning, he's got to clean Gene Gotti's cell. And when he needs commissary, he's got to go to the commissary and go pick it up for him. And if he needs to send somebody a message, he chases them to get a message. So initially, I don't like Jimmy Calandra at all. I look at him, I don't respect him. And, you know, situations are going on in the prison that I'm really starting not to like him at all. And then eventually he has an argument with Gene Gotti over the way he's treating him because we start telling Jimmy, you're in jail, act like a man. Stop acting like somebody's bitch. I says, and behave yourself like a man. Stop running around being his dude.
I'm going to change to another subject. Larry Mazza is from 13th Avenue. His claim to fame is screwing Gregory Scarpa's wife, okay, Linda. I know them. They're nice people. I don't have anything bad to say about them. But when you screw somebody's wife, I'm going to tell you straight up, you're not eligible to ever get made in a crime family. I know that. The wise guys in the street know that. Now, Larry's book, it's taking off. Hopefully it's successful. I'm not a Larry hater, that's for sure. But the thing is, don't lie. Don't say you were a made guy. You were not made. When Larry cooperated...
I was in prison with him for a short period of time. And most of the things he says are delusional because, first, he doesn't even know my name. He calls me Mazza, M-E-Z-Z-A. And he says it numerous times. So he doesn't even know my name. Right. Okay? And he has no problem dropping names. He throws names out left and right. And most of the names he's mentioning were guys I was introduced to as a friend of ours that wouldn't even sit with this guy while he was away.
Why?
So well, because nobody liked him. And I'll tell you, he said something about me. My claim to fame was banging the boss's wife. Okay? First of all, if any woman in the world is my claim to fame, it's the girl I'm with right now. You know her, Kelly. Mm-hmm. Okay? My whole story is a claim to fame. Everything about it is so unique and compelling. So he wants to pick that out as my claim to fame. That's nonsense. There was a war. There was corruption. There was the life itself. Things me and Greg did together. Me and Greg Jr. did together. Greg Jr. is still one of my biggest supporters. We're very tight to this day. So he claims, this guy, that's my claim to fame. He needs to look in the mirror, because now I'm going to tell you what his claim to fame is. This Jimmy Calandra. His claim to fame is killing a woman at a botched burglary attempt. He was part of a team of guys.
You know what, I already said it. I just said it on another part of my Patreon, and I said it's obvious that Sammy put him on as a monkey for him to do little tricks, and Sammy's trying to show out. One time was the underboss, and in my opinion, did Sammy put him up to some of this? I don't know, but Sammy should have had no business putting a dummy like this kid on, give him the stage,
confidence,
and the confidence. That's the word I'm looking. Give a dummy like this the confidence to come out and talk like this. So if he didn't do it, then he needs to come out and say, I apologize for bringing a dummy like this onto the stage and give him the confidence for this, because he needs to speak out and say, okay, I put this guy on because I wanted to show I could treat him like a clown, and I am the underboss at one time, and the guy will still, roll over and do tricks for me because I can control him. And I made a comment the other day on the show. I think it was on Gunner's show. I said, I think I seen Jimmy's hand under the table. Now,
I know Jimmy Calandra. He's a friend of mine. And I did have him in my place. He came down. He was going to get a hotel room. I said, listen, bro, I'm living alone. You want to just come and live with me? I just got my dog with me. Yeah. So we lived together for about 4 or 5 days. And he came on my show, and I did a show with him. We had some laughs, like we're doing now, talking.
Yeah.
And then one or two people, I don't want to name names, but one or two people exploded because he was arguing with one of those names or a couple of those names you're talking about. And they were saying that I encouraged him to do that, which I did.
Something special now. Sammy Gravano went to jail a second time after the Gotti case for an ecstasy ring. He did about, I believe he did about 18 years on that. When he came home, he was contacted by one of the directors, producers of my show, Perfect Gangster, that was out on a documentary series. And what he wanted to do was get the opinion of Sammy Gravano about me. And they had his first interview by telephone after 18 years was through the guy Andy that did my Perfect Gangster. And you'll hear Andy calling Sammy Gravano by tape, by phone, on audio, discussing questions of what he thought about me, relating me to a Perfect Gangster, and some of the questions that went along about me being an active enforcer for the Gambino family, the Gotti family, etc.
John Alite had those qualities, both qualities. He could be tough. He could be honest. He could be loyal. He's not stupid. He knew how to run businesses and unions and different things. So he had a good quality. Most mafiosos don't have that. They need a full-fledged gangster. A racketeer.
Wonderful. Can you remember when was the first time you met John?
I don't remember yet.
One, because one of them is Alite kid. When I came home and I got out of prison, he threw me a couple of dollars right away. First guy. So I try to reciprocate by saying he's a good guy, he's a tough guy, he's this, he's that. You try to help him with a show and all that bullshit. Then he wanted me to come on and do certain things, and I didn't want to be bothered with that. I'm a truthful person.